blessed, man. Another day, another day. So, I mean, I figured I'd kind of give you, I guess, all three. We got a few things going on. We got the update that I was been supposed to do as far as my lowering shock. Got that taken care of, and you'll definitely see the damage that it caused. And yeah, it was absolutely too short. So I ended up going with the KYB, which is what I already had, but they also have a lower shock option. I should have paid attention to that when I first bought them, but I didn't. Anyway, also, we had the issue before where I had that slow leak that I was telling you guys about. Finally got that taken care of, said screw it, and just mounted the new tires up front. But in doing so, now the clock's ticking for me to get all the stuff that I want to get on so that I can get the alignment done, which is leading us into our next thing. Mevotech TTXs. Those are the heavy duty tie rod ends that I've seen in a lot of different forms that people use, and they've had great luck with them, and they're not super expensive whatsoever. I think I literally got these on Rock Auto for maybe about, I don't know, 30 something a piece. And don't get me wrong, if you go on certain websites, I'm not sure why, Summit usually has great prices, but for whatever reason, I think Summit has them for like 40 something bucks, maybe 50. So definitely shop around when you're looking for them and go from there. But enough of me jabbering. We're gonna get to it, show you guys what's going on, and then go from there. Okay, so here's the other KYB I wanted to go with. There's plenty of videos where you guys can make your own decision to figure out, you know, which way you want to go. As of right now, I really like the monotube designs, not the dual tube or whatever you want to call it. I kind of like the single tube. So this is the same one that's already on the truck as far as the design and the series of the KYB Monomax, but this one is actually for the lowered trucks. I probably should have got this when I first bought the truck, but I wasn't sure if it was lowered or not because I wasn't too familiar with it, but it was already lowered 2 inches. This probably would have been a better choice, and this one is probably going to save me now because this one is made, when I looked at the dimensions of how it was made, I compared it to the drop shocks from, I think it was either what is it, DJM or was QA1, one or the other, but they had the same travel distance as far as compression and as far as extension, and that was for a truck that was lowered about 4 inches in the rear. It might have been Beltec I got it off of, but that's the reason I decided, okay, cool, this will work. It matches the other shocks that I already had. It'll give me a familiar, if not the same ride, and I'll be good to go. All right, y'all, I'm holding up top with a 13 millimeter, and I believe when I did do these, my things, they weren't that great, so I had to swap it out. So I believe that these nuts are aftermarket. I could be wrong, but gotta get these loose. Alright, so I had to get crafty and put some grips up here because the thing is, from this shock being too long and bottoming out, it actually bent my mount on the side closest to the frame. So now it's making the bolt on top a little bit harder to get to. So I just locked up a vise on there. It doesn't have to hold it super tight, just enough because I already broke it loose without anything up there. But now everything's spinning, so just trying to get a good shot at it. Alright, so I think I got it. Nut and washer. Look at me, I put a washer on there. Wow. Good stuff, good stuff. Oh, and I dropped it. Alright, I'm not going to take the other one off just yet because I want to loosen up the bottom first before I finish taking off the top. Alright, so I got the shock out, but what I'm going to do before I take the old shock up on top and show you guys the differences, this thing could definitely use a little more love, so I'm going to get a wire wheel on the end of my drill and just try to rough this up, get the scale off as much as I can. I've done this in the past, but I need to do it again. And also try to fix the bend here, because this side, like I said, closest to the rail, this one is bent pretty bad. Well, no, honestly not too bad, but I'm going to try to see if I can bend it back down in place. And truthfully, me tightening it up might actually put it in place. But I'm going to see if I can get the bend first to see if that'll work out. Not sure how I'm going to do that, because this is pretty thick, so that means I really had to hit some crap in order to get it to do that. But let me just start cleaning it up, painting it, and going from there. Alright, so just painted it up, still wet. So while we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to go up top and show you the difference between the one I just took out and the one I just put in. Alright, so here these go. This is the new one, and here's the old one, and I lined them up as best I could here on this end. So you can see on this end, that is the obvious difference between the two. This one's already fully extended, nothing's holding it back, and this one also fully extended. And let me show you the damage that this one took. So looking here, you can see that it's a significant bend on the end of this one. And like I said, toward your right, that's the side that was closest to the frame. So this one's going to be straight, hopefully without me being able to bend that tab on the mounting flange as easy as I thought I was. Hopefully it's not that big of a problem, and I'll be able to get this lined up and snugged in. Alright, so here's the bolts. This is a little dumb stuff I do that takes up time. I just cleaned up the bolts, just wire wheeled them, same way I did the other one, just put a coat of paint on top. Didn't go super crazy, honestly. I'm probably about to scratch it up anyway, but I'm just going to be putting the tool on top just to hold these in place. So what I am going to do, which is cool because the way that these shocks are designed, there's it's pretty much slits, it's not holes exactly. So I can actually put this in the top, and now that that's in the top, this one I'd also be able to put in, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to get that one on the top, since that's going to be the most difficult, especially because of the new bend. And I'm actually going to get the nut and the washer started. Alright, so nut and washer started. This is a lock washer. Well, I'm sorry, lock washer and a lock nut that I used. So I can't tighten it up hand tightening any further than that. So I'm gonna have to use the tool for anything else. But here we are with the new shock, and I'm just gonna start getting this in place. And what that means, I'm gonna slide this on to that end. And now that that's slid on, I'm gonna get my other bolt started. Wow, that one turned pretty far. I guess because of its age, and So just got to get in here and try to tighten these up best I can. All right, so it's tightened up in there, both sides. Had to hold this side with the needle nose vices on top because of how close it is to the frame now after that bend. Hopefully me tightening it up kind of pulled it away. I doubt it, but it's in there, it's tight, and now just time to lock it on down to the bottom. All right, so hopefully this one isn't as hard to push up and get in place. Shouldn't be because it's less travel. But yeah, so I'm gonna pull it up, get the bolt in. Oh, these are so stiff, geez Louise. Because they're new. Oh boy. All right, y'all, there it is. Bolted up. This thing fought me hard, boy, hard. There's definitely tell the difference between a new one and an old one. So I definitely got to do the other side soon, but at least now I should be done with like this bottoming out and ruining the mount. So hopefully that's tackled. What up, y'all? The weather ain't the greatest. It's definitely like kind of dreary. It's been that way for like the last couple of days. But I mean, we're still trying to get it done. So remember that tire issue? Well, if you don't, you gotta watch the previous video. The tire issue that I had where I had that slow leak and I was trying to figure out like what the heck and where was it coming from and I didn't see any nails. It was actually an old plug job that I did. For whatever reason, I guess the location where it got plugged was awkward, so that's why it was leaking. So I'm finally going to get the tires that I've been sitting on and I've been riding around in my bed with. Finally going to put those on just to get it out of the way. I was kind of hesitant because I knew that the alignment not being right would, you know, over time, a long period of time, will cause the issue to keep going and for the toe, inner, outer, whatever, to wear horribly. So the thing is, as you saw before, I now got the control arms that I wanted. And one thing you haven't seen yet was the tie rod ends, so we're gonna check those out. And I know that I'll be putting those on relatively soon, within the next couple of months, so I should be good to go. I'm still gonna put them on. I don't think any crazy damage is gonna happen to them while I'm riding for the time being. I'm just don't have time to constantly keep putting air in it over and over again. I replugged it and it's slowly starting to go back to where it was, so I'm just putting the new tires on. So we'll do that and then go from there. So y'all can see the problem on this, John. I mean, literally, when you look here, you see how bald it is. I definitely got to get that taken care of. I got to get this alignment done ASAP. I got to put these tie rod ends on ASAP because this ain't a good look. Same thing over here. And here's the plug right here that I was telling y'all that I had put in that pretty much like went bad and then leaked out of. Yeah, so it's a wrap for those. So oddly enough, putting those tires on, I could feel the difference in putting those tires back on. And I guess it's because the area that wore really bad that I just showed you guys, that area that wore, I guess, has worn enough to a point where I could kind of feel it in the wheel a little bit. That also could be because when, you know, I touch and put hands on my car a lot. So therefore I can feel when something's not right. So that played out well. So now at this point, Now it's time to show you guys the TTXs so that way you can see what's going to help with that issue in the future. Because once those are installed and the alignment's done, then I should be good to go. I should hopefully be wearing tires like normal people and not like I do right now. So we'll check that out. Okay, so here's the Mevotech TTXs. These are known to be kind of like definitely a step up from stock. They're not as dinky as the stock ones. They're definitely built a bit more durable than the stock ones, even from a visual standpoint before you even lay hands on it. And here's the part number for the inners for the TTXs. And the part numbers are actually pretty much like identical, except for the one thing that's going to change is that number 7. It's going to be a number 6. So here's the outers. The outers is the same part number, just the difference, instead of the 7 there, it's the 6. So the one thing that I was really confused about when I first got these is when I took out the inners, and I recommend you do the same thing. I took a couple out to look at them, one inner, one outer, but I didn't want to get confused. So I left a pair inside the box so I know which is what. So here's the inner, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell, but looking through the bag, you can see this one actually has like it's exposed steel. I believe it's stainless the way it's looking, and here it is. So when these come out, there's no coating here, and when you're trying to put the nut or the sleeve on it, it slides on with no problem. Like, it doesn't give you any issue. So I was expecting the other one to be the same way, but it's not. The issue I'm running into, and you can already see I started trying to clear it off and use a wire wheel to get it off, because it comes fully coated like the whole thing, which I thought was really weird. So here's the other one, and same thing with this one. You can see that it's all coated the same color as the actual the head. So I thought it was going to be able to screw on. I couldn't get it on whatsoever. There was no way. It was impossible for me to try to get anything on these threads. So I just started using the wire wheel and getting to them and trying to get it off. It's being a little more of a pain than I thought, so I'm going to try to use like some penetrating oil, spray it on there, wire wheel it some more, just to see if that'll give me a better result. But once that's off, it'll be good to go. I can get them inside of the sleeve and match them up. So as far as the sleeves go, these sleeves from what's that company? Cunningham Machine. Cunningham Machine sells these sleeves. They sell them in raw, like raw steel, and they sell them coated like this. I'm probably going to spray these with a different coat of black. And of course they come with the 2 nuts that go on the ends to tighten it down and get it together. So that's pretty much it. So it's just a matter of trying to get these threads clean so that I can get it in and get these on and get it to go, and hopefully try to match it up as best I can to the ones that are already on the truck, so my alignment's not super horrible. All right, y'all, so one down, one more to go, and spraying like a penetrating oil, whether you use WD-40, this stuff, they even got your PB blaster. Any of it should work, but this one I think is pretty much as clean as I'm going to get it. I do see a little bit of the coloring still in the thread. It's going to be really hard to catch on the camera, but I do see a little bit. And I can get it to go on quite a few threads, but I think that for some reason, well, not some reason, I probably know, it's because me trying to get it on when that coating was still on here, I think I got some stuff caked up in there, because once I go on, you see how smooth that is, but then I start to reach a point inside of the sleeve where, here we go, it gets really tight, and almost like I can hear kind of like a crunching of some sort. So what I'm going to do to be on like the super safe side and not force it, I'm going to use the penetrating oil again, and I'm actually going to go down in there with the oil and then ream it out with a wire brush just to clean out the threads, just in case that's the case. So I'm not too sure, but we're going to see, because that may also even be where the threads stop. Now that I'm looking at it, it's still definitely going to be hard to tell on camera, but I think the threads only go but so far, so I guess we'll see. But for now, anyway, time to get started on this one. As you can see, huge difference. The whole thing's coated, not sure why, and can't get it to go on. Yeah, I don't even know why I even tried that. I'm not even gonna fight with it. Yeah, immediately. Yeah, it's no bueno. All right, folks, there it is. I'm just gonna try this out, and hopefully should be good to go, because now at this point it's just a matter of going up under the truck, getting off the old tie rod ends, matching these up as best as possible, and getting it installed. The one thing I'm going to look out for, though, is there was one guy, I mean, granted these are both two outers, but there was one guy who was saying that when he went to go install his with the Cunningham machine, it seemed like this didn't come in far enough, like as far as the actual rods, almost like he had to get it cut and get a shorter version of this. I mean, not everybody has said anything about that. I only saw one person, hoping I don't run into that problem, and it's as simple as it should be. All right, so those are the TTXs, man. As you can see, the quality on those are great. It's definitely like a heavier duty kind of structure. The one thing I would say, though, I'm still not sure as to why the whole thing's coated. Maybe I'm missing something, but me getting it off worked for me. And when it comes to that sleeve, yeah, the threads only go down but so far. So I'm not gonna mess with that. I'm quite sure if it's made that way, then it's probably supposed to be that way. So all I'm gonna do at this point is put them on and measure it out and go from there to see if it'll all work out. And you'll see that in the installation, because there's a lot of parts to install. I mean, we got the Viking coilovers that have to go on that I have now. We have the CPP control arms that I have to go on there. The TTXs that have to go on there. All of that stuff has to go on. I got the new inner fender wells that have to go on there. All of that stuff has to go on, and it has to get aligned. And it's cool having the parts, but when you start thinking about the work and the lack of time, it kind of sucks. But it is what it is. So hopefully, I mean, you guys got something out of this as far as if you're looking for a replacement when it comes to your tie rod ends and issues with alignment, and, you know, get it figured out. But all right, I'll see you on the next one, man. Peace.